Hey guys, welcome to Calvin's Guide Game. We've made it to the month of December 2018. Hopefully you're not like me waiting till the last minute to go get those Christmas gifts, but if you are, you'll probably be stuck digging around the bargain bins or taking whatever's left on the shelf like I usually do. And my wife is usually not happy about that. So guys, girls, get out there, buy your significant other something great this year instead of procrastinating. But if you have some family members or friends that you know love to play card games, I'm going to give you my 10 favorite card games in no particular order. And hopefully this will be something that you can look at and say, hey, I think Uncle Bob would enjoy this game. Well, I'm going to give you my list here in just a second. And I made this list by, the games had to be mainly played with cards. These are not always your traditional trick-taking game or card shedding games, but I think if they like those type of games, they'll enjoy some of these. So, before I start with my list, I want to tell you about Calvin's Got Game has a game giveaway. It's sponsored by Three Sons Unlimited and Fireside Games. If you guys are interested in entering, I'll put a link below to the video that tells you how to enter, and you can be a part of that. So, here we go. Before I get to my 10 that I really enjoy playing, I had some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list. I like playing them, but they just fell off the list of the top 10 of my 10 favorite, I guess. First up, we have Uno. Who doesn't remember playing Uno at family gatherings when you were younger? I still enjoy Uno. I still play Uno with family members, especially when you have a larger gathering and there's kids that really don't have a lot to do. I can bring out Uno and we can start playing and entertain some of the kids, some of the adults that really don't want to be part of all the other things that are going on. So, Uno, still a fun game and it's great to play. Sushi Go. Sushi Go is a drafting game where you're drafting cards trying to get the best sushi combinations that you can in scoring points. This system is great for introducing new gamers to the drafting system. So you could do that. It's a great game. I enjoy it. Sushi Go is a fun game. They also have Sushi Go Party with a little bit more stuff. Sushi Go is probably the easier one to play, but go check either one of those out. And then finally I have Pears as one of my last honorable mention. Pears is just a simple deck of cards that you deal one out to each person, and it's face up. It's almost like 21. You're dealing out a few cards with people, but you're trying not to pair up. And if you pair up, you have to take whatever that number is. If it's 10, it's a 9. And this deck of cards has 10 10s, 10 9s, 8 8s, and so on. So if you pass, you have to take one of the cards on the table, and usually you want to take the lowest card that's there and take it, and that'll be your point value. Depending on how many people are playing, different score levels that you reach that you lose if you do it. So the person that reaches that score is the loser. Everybody else wins. So Pears is fun. It's easy to play. You can take it to a restaurant and play while you're waiting on your food to come. It's that simple, that fun. So let's get to my 10 favorites, shall we? My 10 favorite. One of my favorites is Love Letter. Guys, I put off buying this game, and I've told you guys this many times because of the packaging. This game is by AEG. It's for 2 to 4 players, but this little red velvet bag, I thought, that's probably not for me. But once I bought it, I said, holy cow, what a great little deduction game. What a great, fun little game. So, what you do here is everybody's going to get a card. It's a hidden roll. And you're trying to be the last person standing by getting everybody else out or having the highest number card at the end to win the princess's favor. And you have to get so many of these little red cubes before you win the game, depending on the amount of players. Love Letter by AEG, 2 to 4 players. Fun little game. Had a blast with it. My next one is Diamonds. If you got folks out there in your family that like trick-taking games, this is a trick-taking game, but it has a twist. It has these beautiful little white crystals and red crystals, and you have these little screens that are safes, and you put stuff in front of your screens, and some cards that you put stuff behind your screens that will be safe, and that's how you score points. This card game, like I said, is a trick-taking game. But the great thing about this one is, you know how sometimes you have a card that just doesn't even follow suit and you're like, yeah, I got to play it. It doesn't do me any good. Well, this does. If you have a diamond and clubs are led and you throw out the diamond, you get to perform an action. So each card lets you perform an action that you play, so you're not just wasting a turn. So Diamonds is by Stronghold Games. It's for 2 to 6 players. Guys, if you like trick-taking games, I think Diamonds would be for somebody in your family that does like trick-taking games, or maybe you, if you want to buy yourself a Christmas gift. It's got a little different twist on trick-taking because every card you play, you get to do something. So, Diamonds by Stronghold Games, 2 to 6 players. All right, next up, Grifters. Grifters is a card game, okay? Grifters is by Indie Boards and Cards. It's for 2 to 4 players. Grifters is you're a gang and you're trying to get the most money by performing heist and other things in this game. There's some set collection type stuff because you're trying to accomplish certain jobs out there that you have to have certain types of cards. So it's kind of a set collection card game, but each character has a special ability. This is a little more involved, but it is a fun, simple-ish kind of game for indie boards and cards for 2 to 4 players. Guys, Grifters is a lot of fun. If you haven't ever played Grifters, you might want to check it out. It's a great little card game. All right, then we have Conspiracy. Conspiracy might be a little harder to find. This is by Shoot Again Games for 2 to 4 players. I first played this game and I was like, yeah, I'm not sure I care for this game. But the more I've played it, you're collecting colors of conspiracy. There's red, blue, pink. And some of these conspiracies are, they're cloning Hitler. You've all seen those tabloids at the store where they've seen Elvis Presley or they've seen whoever that's passed on and they've seen them at the grocery store buying a Snickers bar or something. This has conspiracies from UFOs to Satan worship. I mean, this card game the cards are funny. But you're trying to collect a set of them to be able to put your conspiracy down as like a tabloid headline, and then other players can play on it. But it's like a card shedding game, I guess, because you want to be the first one to be out. But each conspiracy has a special action that you get to do when you play it, or you add to it. So this game is really interesting. The more I play it, the more I like it. Hopefully you can find a copy of it if you like set collection, putting them down, having special abilities, being able to play on other people's conspiracies. It's just a great little game. Conspiracy, like I said, I didn't like it when I first played it, but it's growing on me. It's not something that's going to just knock your socks off, but if you want something different, try this little game, Conspiracy by Shoot Again Games, 2 to 4 players. Next is Flux. Guys, I have a lot of fun with this game, especially with my kids, or I pull it out even with adults. Some people don't like this game. This game is by Looney Labs. It's for 2 to 6 players, and they don't like it because it's too chaotic for them. The rules are always changing. The goal is always changing. That's what the name says, Flux. It's in flux. So everything is changing. And they make a gazillion of these things. Now, gazillion's a little, I'm not even sure if that's a real number, but they make a bunch of Flux. If you have an area that you like, a show you like. I mean, this is regular show Flux. My kids like this one. There's zombie Flux. There's firefly Flux. There's cake or dessert Flux. There are all kinds. So if you like a certain category, Flux has the game. So if you know somebody that has a specific thing that they really enjoy, math, for instance, I don't know who in the world would enjoy math, but they're out there. They have a math flux. And all you're trying to do is get that goal that's out there. But the problem is the goal is always changing. And you're putting these keepers down, and there's creepers. And guys, Flux is by Looney Labs. 2 to 6 players. This little box plays 2 to 6. So, a lot of fun. Always changing. And they never play the same game twice. Guys, get Flux. I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you have kids. Find the show that they like. They have Cartoon Network. They have all kinds of Fluxes. Check them out. I think you'll enjoy it. Flux. My next one is a very small game, very quick game. It's called Simon's Cat. Now, for you cat lovers out there, this is not just a cat game. It has hedgehogs, dogs, kittens. There's something else in there, and I can't remember what it is. Mice. There it is. But Simon's Cat is, you're going around, it's a shedding card game. So you're putting cards down, trying not to not be able to play. So the first person plays the number 3 pink cat. That's the one that always plays first for some reason, but it does. You play it first. So whoever has it plays it. So the next person has to either play a 3 or a pink. This game can be played by just about anybody. I don't see the age groups on here. I'm sorry, here it is, 6 and up. So this game is virtually played by anybody. If they understand colors and numbers, they can play this game. This game is by by Steve Jackson Games. This game is by Steve Jackson Games, 3 to 6 players. It's very small game, but all you're trying to do is not get the mess, because if you can't play, you have to take the mess. And you keep your messes separate, and whoever has the most messes at the end of the game gets a Simon card. And if you get 3 Simons, you lose. Everyone else wins. The only thing that I would say I don't like about this game is the box. Because you have to sleeve these cards because you're shuffling a lot. So, and I would say sleeve the cards, find a different box. I keep mine in here, but the box will not close with the sleeves on it. That's probably the only negative thing I can say about this game. It's quick, it's fun, and it's for everybody. So, Simon's Cat by Steve Jackson Games for 3 to 6 players. Go check it out. All right, so now we're getting down to my 4 favorite games that I like to play. The next one is 10 Down. 10 Down is a card game where you're collecting a run of cards from 1 to 10. Doesn't matter what color they are, because you have green, red, yellow, purple cards in here. Doesn't matter what color they are. You could get every different color, of card. You can have different color cards in that 1 to 10. And when you get that, on your next turn, you just lay cards, they say 10 down, and you get a token. Now, if you get 3 colors or more of one color, like an 8, 9, and 10 of red, you're going to get 1 for going down and 1 for those 3 colors. If you have 4, you get an extra one, so you'll get 3. Then the more colors you have the same, the more tokens you're going to get, and you have to have 10 tokens to win. So, this one is you're just trying to get a run from 1 to 10. And you know what? In a card game where there's quite a few cards in here, it's not as easy as you think to get 1 through 10. Especially when you think somebody else may be going down, because if they go down first, they score, you don't. So, and there's some variants in here. You can play where you have to get certain colors, so you have to match the colors. People won't be just going down when they get 10 and saying, oh, I'm 10 down, So this game is a little different. It's by CSE Games, and it's from 3 to 5 players. That's CSE Games, 3 to 5 players. Guys, I have a lot of fun with this game. I hope you can find it. The Conspiracy, this game here, you might have a little harder time finding, and maybe my next game you might have a little harder time finding. But I enjoy this game a lot. It's by CSE Games, 10 down, 3 to 5 players. All right. My next game is called, let's take this rubber band off of it, Junk in My Trunk. Guys, this game is really good. It's also by CSE Games. It's for 3 to 5 players. What you're trying to do, it reminds me of an older card game called Hands and Feet, where you have to play all the cards. You get dealt 2 sets of cards, 2 piles of cards, and one is your hand and one is your feet. You have to play all the cards in your hand before you can get to the feet. This kind of reminds me of that because you are an elephant at a circus cleaning up. So you'll get 3 cards down in front of you. You'll get dealt 7 cards, and you'll turn 3 of your cards face up on top of those face down cards. Now you have to play all the cards in your hand plus all the cards in the deck. You're going to draw a card each time you play. You play 1 or 2 or 3, maybe even 4 cards because you play alike cards together. And there's special abilities when you play 4 of them together. And there's cards in here that let you clear the pile, play again. So there's a lot going on in this little game. This right here is a really fun card shedding game, I guess. Because you're trying not to, because if you can't play, and to play, you have to play the card the same number or higher. So if you can't play higher than the card that's out there on the pile, you have to pick it up. So it could get messy really quick. You'll have a handful of cards, and then somebody else has already played all their cards, and the stack is gone that you draw from. Once that happens, you can now start playing from your bottom row. But you have to play all the top cards first that are face up. And then when it comes your turn and there's a card out there to play, say it's a 15, you have to pick one, look at it, and if it'll play, you play it. If not, you have to pick up the pile. You keep it face down, though, so that nobody knows. Because there's also cards in here that let you swap stuff on the table. Guys, Junk in My Trunk by CSE Games. I hope you can find it. It's a fun little game, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this game. 3 to 5 players, CSE Games, Junk in My Trunk. Go check it out. Now, the next 2 games are widely known. The next 2 games you could run down to Walmart, Target, whatever stores that you have near you. I have no idea. We have pretty much Walmart and Target. And there's other game stores, things like that. Go check those out. Always check your local game store first. But the next one is Skip-Bo. You can tell mine's been played a lot. This box has seen better days. I think this is one of the games I've played most this year because I play it with my wife. We play just 2 of us together. My mother comes over every Sunday and we play. She loves this game, so we play this with her. And you can play this with in teams. You can play this singles. Skip-Bo is a lot of fun. It's by Mattel, and it's 2 to 6 players. This game's been around a long time. I think you could pick this thing up for under $10 at Walmart or Target. Skip-Bo is a lot of fun. You're trying to shed all the cards. You have a stack of cards in front of you. You have a hand of 5. You're trying to play all the cards in your stack before the other people do. So if you're on a team, you can use each other's cards on the team, but you still have to go out before the other 2. And both of you have to go out if you're on teams to win the game. So you can play this solo or with teams, and you can play up to 3 teams. So 2 to 6 players. Skip-Bo, been around a long time. Guys, it's still a classic. It's still a fun one. It's right up there. You know, Uno was on my honorable mention. It's been around a long time as well. But Skip-Bo, go check it out. I think it'd be a great family game for the holidays, sitting around the table. If you put this in somebody's stocking or give it to them as a gift and they open it, they're going to want to play this game that day. So be prepared to do that if you buy somebody Skip-Bo. Guys, I got one more, and this is my favorite all-time card game, and this is a trick-taking game. This game is called Rook. There's many different versions of Rook. I don't want to say versions. I mean, they bring out like a new deck every year. The cards are exactly the same. I mean, the way you play it is exactly the same. Cards look different. But Rook, I probably have 7, 8 decks of Rook because we play it so much and the cards just get wore out. Now, this is probably one of my newer ones, but the cards are not as wore out yet. But they're just basic cards you're going to play. If you play with 4 people, you're going to take 1 to 4s out. and you're not going to play with the 1 through 4s. But if you're playing with 6 people, because this game is 2 to 6, and this game is by Parker Brothers, you can pick this up at any Walmart, Target, any store near you as well. But also, like I said, always check your local game store first. Rook, what can I say? One of my favorite trick-taking games. You're going to bid on how many points you think you can score. There's only certain cards in here that score. You're going to play the cards. You're going to go around after everybody's played. Now, this is one of those games where if you have an off, like you don't have the leading color that led out, and you just throw a card out there, unless it's count, and counts are 5, 10, 14 in the Rook, you're not going to help your partner at all. This is a game where you're playing partners as well. So you're not going to help your partner at all if you're just throwing it off. Unlike diamonds, where if you throw it off, you help yourself, and the game is single player. You're not playing partners in diamonds. So this card, if you throw it off, it's just an off. And that's what we call a card that doesn't follow suit, is an off. Guys, go get Rook. Go check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that some of these games piqued your interest, that you might go out and take a look at them. Guys, get a board game to the table. Spend time with friends and family, because this time of year, Christmas time, is the time to do that. Get a board game to the table, like I said. Have a great year. End of the year. Thanks for watching. Calvin's Got Game.